After being at each other's throats for what felt like years, now Disney and Elon are working together like nothing ever happened. Now, take it away, Dash.
Yeah, so like we all know like the feud between Elon and Disney, and yet here they are promoting the newest, long overdue Tron movie. Is that Jared Leto?
Yes, Jared Leto is the star of the movie.
No. Is that Jared Leto like fighting acting like he's with the robot?
I believe so. Yes.
Dun 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 dun.
At least he's not having intercourse with the robot yet. That comes later.
This is insane, folks. This is
those Optimus things are crazy.
Oh yeah. They have the ability, folks, to be everywhere. It's just a matter of mass production now.
In about 2 years, I heard like my local mall is apparently going to be getting them because they have a Tesla store.
Byron, you better watch out. This clanker may take your job.
Well, I'm going to just briefly comment. I do not care for using the name Optimus on these robots because Optimus is supposed to encompass or encapsulate a leader who wants to save humanity, not eventually enslave and dominate it.
I agree. I don't see Optimus Prime when I see this.
Yeah, change your name. Actually, I think they should be called Clankers with a hard R.
It looks like
Clanker.
a gaming chair with a head.
Call them Seekers because Starscream and Skywarp and Astrojet, they were all trying to rip humanity apart. That would make more sense.
Yeah, what were the iRobots called? Because they look more like that.
Robots.
They were just called robots.
Yeah,
kind of lame.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite slur for a robot is wireback.
I prefer Clanker just because of its origins.
Look, I like the slurs for the robots because we could say them on YouTube without getting flagged. It's finally something you can call a slur without getting in trouble.
For now.
Well, now,
Jose,
wait until the robot rights activists become a thing. Wait until we get Clanker Lives Matter. Wait until you get banned from YouTube for saying Clanker because it's their word. Just wait. But we're going to get panel perspectives.
They'll scrub all the episodes of Clone Wars for originating the term.
Yep, and they're going to pay for that. Disney are going to pay for that. But we're going to get panel perspectives about it. Why don't you make that big, Dash? Why don't you make that big? You don't have to play the audio. Just put it on a loop, and then we'll get panel perspectives on Disney and Elon working together with this Tron promotion using Optimus. And we're going to start off with Dash. Dash, what do you make of all this?
Well, for one, I just think it's like amazing considering like Iger was like literally trying to starve X of ad revenue, and Elon told Iger to his face to go fuck himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he bankrolled Gina Carano's lawsuit, which she won, and they had to pay her and almost basically admit fault. So like after all this, the fact that they would do a brand promotion together is just insane.
I think the craziest thing about this, folks, to give my perspective on this, is that you are seeing a vision into the near future, okay? One-on-one, of course, an ordinary average human being is going to beat one of these things, okay? But let's consider the fact that the end goal of Tesla's Optimus system is an affordable house robot or house clanker. Let's use that term, house clanker, for about $20,000, okay? Or as a rental for like a couple of $100 a day, like a corporate rental or something like that. And when you consider that against humanity, 9 months to birth one of them, and 20 years, 25 years for a man to fully mature, yeah, it's no contest. If these things can just be mass produced in a factory, as long as they have a stable energy supply, they ain't going to be beaten conventionally. Okay, folks. So you're seeing you're seeing the positive aspects of this, but we all know where this could go, right? And it could go so wrong so quickly,
iRobot.
unimaginable. Yeah, because even if human beings beat like an army of these things, in a week's time they'll just not reproduce, but they'll just produce more of them, like battle droids, in a sense. But let's get Galaxy Red's perspective. What do you think when you see this, my good man?
Yeah, I like I said, like you were saying, it is scary too because of that, but it's kind of very similar to like Terminator too. So it's just like yeah. So if you got but this thing right here with Disney and Elon Musk working together is like Dash said, is fully dumb because they're already fighting they're fighting against yeah, they were on opposite sides for like years. So it's just, and then suddenly just started working together now. It's like what's going on here? I don't understand that. But,
even Galaxy, even if this is pre-programmed, folks, we have to understand that these machines operate utilizing machine learning techniques. It's like they imitate. They take in information and then they imitate that information. And the more they interact with the real world, the more it's like they learn from prior experiences.
I think got AI connected to it. Yeah, that would be.
That's how they're teaching these AIs now, folks. It's more like they're growing them than building them from a software perspective. And it is very dangerous, but it also goes to show that when it boils down to money, you can put past enmities aside. Isn't that right, Jose?
Oh, absolutely. I love Rumble. Rumble is a great platform. Chris Pavlovsky is a wonderful man. In all seriousness, it is naive to think that just because Elon Musk and Disney had odds that it would stay and remain that way, because as you said, money talks and bullshit walks. And the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, the one thing that you realize if you've lived about as long as me, because I'm probably one of the oldest ones here, if not the oldest one here. Actually, Galaxy's a little older than me. But
about a year, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But besides that point, the world is a stage. And what that means is that you realize that all these people, publicly will have this sort of stance and they'll be at odds with each other. But behind the scenes, they're all just sort of laughing the whole way to the bank. You could go, my girlfriend and I like to watch like reruns of The Apprentice and stuff. And then you have Trump on there. My good friend, Chuck Schumer. And you think about what's going on now. And that's really what it is. But then last year there was some kind of roast, presidential roast or something that Trump and Schumer were at. And they're just laughing at each other. They're laughing it off. And these people get on TV every day. They tell you they hate each other. Yeah, so much for that. And that's the same with all of this. That's the same with all this. There were some conservative influencers last year who were in New York. And you see them taking pictures with like Harry Sisson and Angela Belcamino. Because really, at the end of the day, everything that we see from this sector of people is theatrics. All of it, right, left, all of it at the end of the day. But what's more alarming is the fact that there's about 100 sci-fi movies that tell you that this is a bad idea. With the advancements we're seeing in AI, especially the past 2 or 3 weeks, you combine that with those bodies. Oh boy, you don't want that.
The hardware and the software are coming together, folks, and I'm leaving our best perspectives for last, our super special guests. But when I think about this right here, right now, and of course Jose is correct in his assessments, if you really go against the grain and stand on principle, best case scenario, you get canceled out of existence, and worst case scenario, you get shot in the neck, which is why I'm wearing these headphones, folks, not around my ears, but around my neck. Because
don't worry, Digny. They'll send one of these robots to perform you think the people in the desert like to spontaneously combust. Wait till these robots start doing it.
Oh, my goodness. Admiral Akbar, you too. But, Nick, what do you make of this whole situation from what you've heard?
Let's see here. This to me is not surprising, and not in terms of the whole like everything is staged. I mean, I do believe there's a lot of truth to that. Do I believe that in an absolute sense? Not really. I truly just believe that billionaires, they're enemies with someone up until they actually have to face them. And that was how Jeff Bezos, how Bob Iger, how Bill Gates, all of them, they were all going against Trump. But now that he's in office, well, now they got to make nice because, well, he's a president. They kind of have no choice. So you can argue stage, not stage. There's a lot of semantics that can go on that, and that's a whole other topic. This is just them being nice to the president. And since now they have to be nice to the president, well, he's had his on again, off again relationship with Elon. And that was one half of that solved. The other half was the Gina situation. And it does make sense to work together again. I mean, it's more money for everyone. So, yeah. And also, too, even if you take out the politics of it, famous people have gotten into fights. Some of it could have been staged, some of it could have been real. And people do genuinely realize, hey, we can win together by working together. And that's just, I do think it's a little bit more simpler than that in this particular regard. Trust me, I'm a pretty conspiratorial guy. I actually am. But in this particular instance, I actually truly believe this is a bit simpler than that. I believe this is just, okay, well, now that we got the situation, we can actually work together because we got over. And it ain't the first time it's happened in history. Like, it's kind of like the Montreal screw job between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels in '97. They were genuine enemies, but when they buried the hatchet, it was a genuine thing. It wasn't a natural stage. So I truly believe it was more of the simpler nature in that regard. Now, could I be wrong? Of course I could be. This is just how I feel about this. And I've been wrong on things, but I truly believe this is one of those more simpler ones and not one of the ones where there's something off about this.
You did bring up a good point, though, which is that, you influence the culture more working together than working against each other. And even Elon has to understand that if you want to make changes at Disney, you have to kind of communicate with them and find that middle ground in order to sort of get to where you need to go.
If Trump were never the president, there probably would be a bit of a different conversation about this. I don't think Elon Musk would be there, especially since he and Trump like basically partnered up to make sure Kamala Harris didn't get elected. And since they have to make nice with all these people, like you got to remember too, like was it Disney who eventually caved and put their ads back on X anyway? So the first step was already there towards rebuilding a relationship, even before Tron, even before Gina. So you could argue it was already like kind of just slowly there. This is just really just now them putting the gas on rebuilding the relationship and making it more open.
Well, you can see how, because I'm very interested in this machine, folks, personally.
Okay.
Because I'm not a Tron fan. I'll just put that out there, folks. I don't know much about the franchise, but I can tell you this: looking at that machine, it's customizable. For all we know, it could have been custom built just for this. But if this is a glimpse into the future of Optimus robots, right? So you buy a standard one for $20,000. We'll just use that term because it's been used in the past. And then you can like get add-on extras with like different skins, like Fortnite.
Like the Tron skin.
I was going to say, it looks like wait till they put skin on it. That's going to be the scary
It's
part.
wearing shoes.
To answer your
shoes, right?
thoughts, cartoon gentleman, as far as the robot, I've never seen Tron, but judging by just this isolated video, I'm not a fan of this type of thing taking over, becoming dominant, because everything always leads to something. It never has a stoplight. We never do. And I like to have a very active life, and I don't like to become reliant on something that extensively.
We're going